What is up? As you may have guessed, I'm at the park once again. It's like 5:30ish. Pretty overcast right now. I was up earlier, but the air is like calm and stable. Today, I want to talk a little bit about like how to get into paramotors, a little bit of insight on gear. I might circle around the reservoir, which is over that way, and then end up going over to the airport because there's like 3 hours-ish till sunset, so I got plenty of time to go fly and have some fun. Pretty stoked on it. There's barely any wind check. If anything, it's going that way. Make it work. I was checking out YouTube analytics the other day, and according to that, 75% of you people watching these videos aren't subscribed. Now, I don't want to tell you how to live your life or anything, but I'm just saying, if you think paramotors are pretty dope, you should subscribe. I just ate like 2 servings of Chinese food. Ugh. I feel disgusting. Right, Jess. Fun quick tip, you do an engine run up. Never point that thing at your wing. Guaranteed it'll ruin your day. I need to eat less before flying. I'm gonna get off the ground and then we'll get going on the whole talkity talk thing. Tai howla. That was fast. Might have had a tailwind. You ever launch a 16-meter wing with an 80-pound motor and a tailwind? You will. A lot of you folks might be wondering how to get into paramotors. I figured I'd talk about that just a little bit today. I am not an instructor, and I'm not an encyclopedia either, so this is just like general insight on possible ways you might go about getting into paramotors. A little background, paramotors in general fall under FAR 103 as far as regulations go. You don't need a pilot's license to fly a paramotor in the US, and you don't need legal training. So technically you could go out and buy this stuff and learn to fly it on your own. But that's not safe. Don't do that. That's how you break yourself. So most definitely learn to fly with an instructor, or at very least someone that already knows how to fly. Now in terms of instructors, there's one guy I can tell you not to go fly with. Shout out to Del Shanze. Don't get instruction with Del. Don't fly a flat top. Don't buy a Dominator. That's all I really want to say about that. I learned to fly with Eric Farewell from Aviator PPG in sunny Florida. Now, I would 100% recommend learning to fly with Eric. So when you do your online research for instructors, check out the US PPA. Basically, anyone that's legit should be registered and trained and qualified by the US PPA. So you can do like searches on there or whatever and find local instructors closest to you. There's really not that many legit instructors by me. I ended up deciding just to drive down to Florida, and the commute to any location I think is well worth it when you're learning to fly, because one, you get to go somewhere cool. You get to go on a little adventure, a mini vacation, and the conditions for learning to fly in some places are much more conducive than others. For example, here in New Jersey, kiting winds. If you want to learn to kite, which is one of the steps in the progression to learning to fly a paramotor, it's super rare that you actually have a good day to kite in New Jersey. Either the winds are way too strong or they're on and off and shifty. The 2 most credible places, I would say, just off the top of my head, is Aviator PPG in Florida and Team Fly Halo, which I believe their training centers Oregon/California. But yeah, check them out. As far as gear goes, everyone asks, like, I'm 6 foot and 190 pounds, what motor and what wing should I get? Always, when you start out, do the smart thing. Get a beginner wing, either an E&A or B rated wing. It's gonna keep you safe, and you really shouldn't get bored of that wing too soon. Yeah, you're gonna wanna progress, but there's always more stuff you can stretch out of your beginner wing. So as far as wings go, I guess there's 3 kind of categories you wanna look into. First being a wing that is beginner rated. It's gonna be a safe wing. It's gonna be a very docile wing, stable, not gonna collapse, and if it does collapse, it's not going to be violent. The next category, you want to make sure you get one properly sized. So paramotor wings and paragliding wings in general are sized in square meters. Depending on your weight is going to pretty much determine what size wing you want to get. If you're a big guy, you obviously get a bigger wing. If you're a small guy, you start out with a smaller wing. You want to get something that's properly sized. If you go too small for your weight, you're going to be going too fast, and it's not going to be as safe of an experience. If you go too big, it's going to be really floaty, not as well pressurized. The last thing I think category-wise is the manufacturer. You want to get a wing from a reputable manufacturer. You don't want to get like one of these janky-ass wings. You want to get something legit. So top wing manufacturers that make beginner wings: Dudek, Ozone, Jin. This one I don't know how to pronounce. It's either Nivik, Nivu. I don't know. There's like a silent K maybe. I'm probably missing a few other ones, but you want to get a legit wing manufacturer that's like keeping up with the times, making adjustments as like new technology advances and whatnot. Ozone has a bunch of super nice new wings now, beginner wings that have they're like a lighter weight material, so they come up super easy. Takes barely any wind to kite them. The Universal I've been flying. What's with all of these little fuzzy things? I don't even know how they're getting up here. It's not like there's thermals today. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, the Universal is made by Dudek. Super good wing, beginner wing. Any new wing is probably going to run you like $3,000 to $4,000. They're pretty pricey, so definitely check out used wings. Normally you can find some pretty good deals on used wings because people are trying to step up. They're selling their beginner equipment. So there's normally some good stuff. You can get a decent one for around $2,000 with not much time on it. As far as motors go, in my opinion, there's no perfect motor. Some of them shine in specific categories more than others. Some of them fulfill a lot of the categories really well. I feel like you could get one of any number of motors and be completely happy with it. I'm flying the Scout. The Scout's awesome. It fulfills a bunch of different categories for me and then some. I think the thing it shines in the most is the torque, aerodynamic torque compensation. Another one, for example, Air Conceptions. They're super lightweight. The Nitro 200, what does it weigh, like 42 pounds? I feel like that's where that motor shines really well. Blackhawk stuff is alright. People ask a lot, like, I hear some stuff about the Blackhawk, should I get one? I think they're alright for like a budget motor. They're kind of bare minimum. I had a bunch of stuff on my Blackhawk break, honestly. They always treated me well. The customer service is pretty excellent. Motors are rated, and normally cc's or cubic centimeters of displacement of the engine. So starts out anything from 80 cc's is like the smallest. Hey, hot air balloons. They're like the smallest available, commercially made, I guess. All the way up to 200 and 230, even 250, but that's nowhere in like the beginner level unless you're a really big dude and trying to get in the air. I started on the Blackhawk, which is a 125. Anything in that range, like lower 100s, for the average size person is going to be plenty of power for you in the beginning. Anything in the upper 100s, getting closer to 200, like this Scout is a 185, that's going to be for bigger guys or giving you something to grow into. But all power really means is it's helping you climb faster. So I don't know, some people might think that more power means they go faster. Speed is really determined by the wing, the size of the wing, and who makes, or the design of the wing determines how fast you're going to go. A flock of geese, shout out to geese. Motors you can also buy used. If I was starting out, I would probably lean towards a new motor and a used wing, because your wing you're probably going to want to resell within maybe a year of when you start flying. Your motor, that's a little more sensitive. Like, these are two-stroke engines. You don't know what the last guy did to it, if he beat on it, if he made modifications. I think it's better to start fresh from the beginning if you can afford it. There are occasionally good deals on used motors. Shout out to balloons. I'm not getting too close to this water. Water freaks me out. I don't have flotation on right now. Yeah, basically get a reputable instructor, get a quality motor and a quality glider. Another thing is, a lot of instructors will let you fly their equipment as part of the training package. So you get a feel for the equipment that you're learning to fly on, and then you can make a decision afterwards of what equipment you want to buy. So that's always a good way. Don't worry about buying equipment straight off. So yeah, I hope that gives a pretty good overview of at least where to get started when you're looking into learning to fly a paramotor. Is that a sea monster? Maybe it's a guy fishing on a kayak, but it sure looks like a sea monster from here. I saw a lot more smoke coming from there earlier. Now I'm getting a bit closer to it. We shall find out. Someone's grill probably caught on fire. Hey, look, a train. These trains come through here every so often, and they're always like super, super long. Shout out to Train Man. Damn, that's a long train. Fun fact, Eddie, Jackie, and I one time blew up a bunch of tubes and went tubing in this little pond. Oh, it's freaking cold. There's 2 fires. Okay, I can see a fire now. Jesus. I can smell it. Just a pile of wood? That's insane. You can see that for like miles. You've attracted my attention. Alrighty. So as I get closer to the airport, I'm just going to keep an eye out for other aircraft entering the pattern. Those balloons literally haven't moved anywhere since I first saw them. I feel like it doesn't matter which direction I land. There's basically no wind. Mother of God. I was about to land, but I think those balloons are like actually coming this way. So I'm going to go fly around them. I love flying bug balloons. It's so awesome how all of a sudden it turns everything into such like a 3-dimensional feel. Alright. According to my smoke over there, if there is any wind, it's going that way. Freshly mowed lawn. That was fast. That felt so good though. I love it when things work out. Look at this parking. Drop the freaking glider right there. I'm going to park my motor right on this here picnic table. That's how you send it right there. So awesome. Yep. As I figured, nothing really exciting going on here except that beautiful view over there. I'm going to get all strapped in again, start up the motor, and we'll be off. Sweet. There's like no wind. Fast launches, small wings. Nailed it. Oh yeah, it's looking a lot nicer. Way more pretty with the sun out. So I hope I kind of covered everything. If you have any more specific questions about paramotor stuff, how to get involved in paramotors, feel free to comment. Okay, time warp to the park. And we're at the park. Look at that view. It's so awesome. It's so pretty up here. I guess I'll go ahead and kill my engine. Can't tell if there's any wind. That smoke from the house shows no wind when I land the other way. It makes more sense. Oh, that is so good. Coming in fast on this wing is like so fun. Cannot wait to speed fly. Send it. Pretty stoked on that landing. Oh look, I did land with a tailwind apparently. So that was an awesome little flight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe if you're inspired to learn how to fly a paramotor, hit me up. And it's a beautiful day. Loving it. Stoked on every bit of it. Well, that's about all. Peace out.
Once again, had to tell the niggas if they didn't know, probably put them rules on your grandma, but I ain't tryna cut like an answer. The hands lost, stay spice like a damn bug. Now I'm finna